Hello there, what's going on guys? It's JB here and here we are with FIFA 18 Burnley career mode, and we are Burnley on professional mode as we look to try and do some damage in the Premier League this season. Hopefully we've got a bigger budget. We use one of our financial takeovers. You get 3 in the game, so I've used one of them for this season, for the first season. That's our objectives for the season. Long term, winning 3 seasons as well. Continental 6. We are expected to finish mid-table, reach the round of 16 in the FA Cup. Financial situation, finish with a profit margin of 88 million. Could be difficult, but we'll see. If we can stay in the Premier League, we'll do okay. So, as I say, we went up to 120 million as well as the budget was concerned. So, it was important really to get that consistency going. So let's get straight into what happened in pre-season. We won our first match, and then we played Bremen in the second match of the Champions Cup, and we simmed all these games, and we lost 1-0. So that was a little bit disappointing on our behalf, to be quite honest. And we were scouting 1 or 2 players as well, James Ward-Prowse being one of them. We always seem to have a look for good players. We also had a look at Callum Wilson as well. Trying to have a look at what the right players were for Burnley was always going to be a tough task really when you think about it. But before we went on to even more scouts, even more players, we played Feyenoord in the final group game, and we drew 0-0. So we bowed out of the Champions Cup at that stage, and it meant that we got 1.4 million, but it didn't matter too much because we had a budget of around about 125 million. So we had a transfer offer for Frederick Uberstadt, so we negotiated with it with the representatives, and this is what. So we went to a cut shop. Their representative shakes my hands. Thank you for coming, let's get started. That's me, John Stutzy, the manager there. And so they've offered us 520, which is about way below the 700,000 that we wanted. So we propose a new transfer fee, and we decide initially to up it to £700,000, which I think is the right value for us. So we said it doesn't work for us, it's too low, and we want 700 grand, and we're not going to sell him for less. So that's what we said. I forget who the club is. Anyway, their representatives, I know we're not one to, and they're willing to give us 700 grand. So hopefully we'll sell Frederick Uberstadt for 700 grand, which is a great piece of business if we can sell him for that sort of money. And then we go looking for our first signing, and we look at Ryan Shawcross, experienced defender, been in and around the Premier League a long time. We were a bit thin on the ground for centre backs. Obviously in real life we didn't add to our centre back list, but we were looking to try and do that. In the meantime, Dean Marney, we had an offer from Newcastle, so we met up with Rafa Benitez, or a rep from Newcastle anyway, not Rafa there, but so again we deal with the rep and we get started, and they are offering some in fact way under that, 1,150 million pounds, so we say right, 1,600,1.6 million, which is his valuation, and I felt that was a fair offer. Although we did stupidly up the offer by a bit more to 2 million quid, which I thought might just tempt Newcastle. So we said, well, okay, we'll suggest £2 million. And on the basis of that, we sort of messed up on this occasion, because the reply to this was unbelievably shocking. I'm sorry, there's a big discrepancy between your valuation and Marnie and ours. There's no point in continuing. And there's me, all gobsmacked, and oh god, my goodness, that was a real balls up and a half, I have to say. And it just showed that trying to up it by too much has sort of I sort of messed things up there really badly, so I was a bit of a plank for doing that. In the meantime, the Shawcross deal is taking shape. We meet up with Mark Hughes, the Stoke manager, and obviously his current value is 8.5. But we've got that transfer takeover where we can have a bit more money when we've got 125 million. So we offer. So our starting price was 12 million pounds, and we felt that was a fair offer. A lot more than the 8.5 asking price, but obviously football clubs do drive hard bargains. But to get a player of Shawcross's undoubted quality for 12 million would be brilliant. And let's see what Mark Hughes replies. He said, "I think that's a fair offer for Shawcross, and we're happy with the terms. You can meet the player now." So we thought, brilliant, excellent, smashing there. So Shawcross, who's as I say, experienced. So we go to the cutscene where Shawcross and his agent now come into the office. That's my office. There's me looking splendid in my suit. Why we got a red and white tie on? Because it's supposed to be claret and blue. Anyway, never mind. So there's Ryan Shawcross again, looking snazzy in his new suit. So we give Shawcross crucial because he's going to be our best defender. So we need someone to partner bed me, and we think Ryan Shawcross is the man to do that. And of course this was always going to be tough, and obviously Shawcross's agent is delighted with that. Of course he is. He's going to be delighted about it, isn't he? You know what I mean? It's just one of those things, isn't it? Anyway, so we go on discussing the length of the contract. He wants a 3-year deal, which at his time of life, 29 years old, at the peak of his powers, is a fair deal. So we accept that, and I'm happy with that. And we offer Shawcross a 3-year contract, and I think on balance it's fine. So yeah, he's sparing with delight, and of course another big plus: there's no release clause needed to his contract. So, well, I think we can be safely say that that's another good deal. That's a fantastic deal. We accept that. I'm not a fan of the release clauses, I have to say, but if you want to get the better player, sometimes you have to. But Ryan Shawcross is different in that respect. So. Now the salary. Now this was always going to be his current contract at Stoke was 69 grand a week. Let's be interested to see what the agent actually gives, and so we're going to give him £1. No, we're not going to give him £1. We're going to offer him 75 grand a week, and a couple of million signing on bonus. And we've got the money to do it, so we submit the offer. We're willing to pay Shawcross a weekly wage of about 75 grand, and we're willing to offer a signing on bonus of 2 million quid. And let's see what the agents came of that. That is a fair offer. So we have our first signing at Burnley Football Club, Ryan Shawcross, for £12 million. Then we meet up with Ronald Koeman for our next potential deal, which is for Aaron Lennon, 30 years old, surplus to requirements at Everton. So his current value is about £7 million, but obviously we need to make it a good offer. So we go 500 grand over the asking price, and we say, well, can we have him for 8 million quid? And to be fair, I think this is a good deal, 8 million quid. And he said it's a fair offer, and we got him on the first bid. So happy days for us there. And then we got to the obvious contract negotiations, of course. And there we are. Have a seat. There's Lennon again, looking splendid in the suit. And there's the agent. He expects Lennon to be an important player and play most matches throughout the season. And we accept that, obviously. I think he's going to be the best right midfielder by none. That is for sure. There's no doubt about that. So the contract, 3 years, again, at his age, I think he's about right. He's about 30, so he's at the peak of his career. if you like. So a 3-year deal sounds just about adequate to me, so we accept that, and it works for all parties. And as you can see, Lennon's looking quite pleased, a little bit chuffed with himself. And of course, like the Shawcross deal, he doesn't want a release clause. Even better. I mean, that is just it's just amazing, isn't it? Anyway, we accept the fact that we don't want a release clause in Lennon's contract, and that is even better for us, because it doesn't mean we can. It means we can sell him on for whatever we can, to be quite honest. So then. Oh, then this was ridiculous. 91 grand. I have to say, I think 91 grand was a bit steep, and they were after bonuses of 1,350,000. But we needed a counter, to be quite honest, because I think 91 grand was far too steep for a player of Lennon's experience. So we wanted to make it. Obviously, he's on 85 grand a week at Everton, so we needed to obviously try and at least achieve that. So we offered 87 grand, and up to the asking bonus to signing on bonus to 1,550,000, 1,550,000, and let's see what. No, they want 87 million. In fact, he's accepted the 87 grand. Sorry, and it wasn't what they were hoping for, but even so, great deal there. And Shawcross and now Lennon join us for the season. 2 good signings coming into the football club, so very good. And then we deal with Jurgen Klopp in a deal to bring the legend, that is Danny Ings, back to his spiritual home of Burnley Football Club. Danny Ings, who's probably going to be surplus to requirements at Anfield. His worth about £9 million, but we're going to offer him a bit more than that. So we're going to say £10 million, a million over what his actual sum is, and I think that's a fair offer. I think, considering that he's not played much football for Liverpool since he joined from them, and we discussed terms with Jurgen Klopp, and they accept the transfer fee, but they want a sell-on clause, and that will receive, and they will receive any 2% of the proceeds if we ended up selling Danny Ings. So we accept, because we want to make the most out of Danny Ings. So myself and Mr. Klopp shake hands. Great dealing business with you there, Jurgen. Fantastic. And now we go and negotiate the contract with his players. Agents, I should have said. Anyway, we go to the cutscene. There's my good self in the office, proud as punch. Look like I'm dressed with a funeral for that black tie. Anyway, here comes Danny Ings, and look who's representing him. Now, isn't he, if I'm very much mistaken, there's Danny Ings there, and who could be representing Danny Ings, I wonder? Is he a famous film star, I wonder? Well, they want a Crucial. Well, we want to give him Crucial anyway, because he's going to be our main striker. But isn't the representative, the agent there, if we get a close-up of him, that looks like very much the spitting image of Morgan Freeman, if I'm very much mistaken. Now, is Danny Ings being represented by Morgan Freeman? Well, he's certainly happy with the role that we've given Danny Ings. Now Morgan Freeman decides, right, I want Danny to sign a 4-year deal. I want 4 years, says Morgan Freeman. We accept Morgan's demands for that. Anyway, we offer Ingsy a 4-year contract. I can't believe he's being managed by a film star here. He's got film star looks, Danny Ings, with that suit and that beard. We disregard the release clause because we don't like release clauses in our contract. Took me a while to get through to that. And then Morgan says we want 94 grand a week, and we want a bonus of 1.4 million and 2.15 after 20 appearances. We counter offer that because we think the wage is too high that Morgan Freeman's demanding. We do up the signing on bonus, and we've knocked it down to 90 grand. So we've knocked it down by 4 grand. 90 grand still a bit steep. So we offer Ingsy and Morgan Freeman that particular offer, and it's up to Morgan Freeman. Can we get that deal? and he wants 91 grand. Oh, Morgan is driving a hard bargain, but we know he's a good player. He's still 25 years old, and we decide for an extra grand more we'll take him. And so we do a deal with Ingsy and Morgan Freeman for the guy, and there we are. Danny Ings becomes our third summer signing for Burnley. So he joins Ryan Shawcross and Aaron Lennon on Burnley Football Club's books. And it was great doing business with his agent, Morgan Freeman. Who would have thought it? And then we get a transfer offering for Sam Vokes. Tony Pulis comes to do the business with he's suited and booted, but he's got his baseball cap on. Why would you want to go with a baseball cap on with a suit? It just doesn't seem right. Now, West Bromwich Albion have offered 8.7 million, but we think he's worth 10 million pounds. We want to try and get as much money as we can. His current value is 8 million quid. So they have gone over the initial fee, but we want to try and get a bit more money for him. So we're saying to Tony Pulis, we're not willing to take less than 10 minutes, but 10 million. But Tony says that's our final offer. So the baseball cap man says we'll stick at where we are at the moment. So we counter offer that, and we propose a new transfer fee. Oh no, we don't. We add on the sell-on clause. So we say 10% of the proceeds. We'll accept. That's a better offer. We'll accept that transfer fee. How about 10% of Vokes' next transfer fee as well? So we offer that, and then we'll pay the transfer fee we're asking for. Let's compromise on the selling clause. How about 3%? Well, we'll try that then. As much as I like Vokes, it would be we needed the extra coin because we wanted to build a new Burnley, really, a Stutzy revolution. So we reached agree on a fee for Vokes, but whether they can get a new contract, that remains to be seen, because he is a former Wolves player, so this could be a stumbling block for us in that respect. And again we go to another cutscene and we meet up with Mauricio Pochettino over a potential move for our former right back Kieran Trippier, who we would love to get back. We've got Matt Lawton as well on the books at that particular moment, and we know that the current value for Kieran Trippier is £8.5 million. So we want to make a fair offer to Mauricio Pochettino, so we think £10 million is a good starting bid. So we submit that to Pochettino, who's looking very splendid, although I'm still dressed for a funeral. I don't understand why I've got a black tie on and should be wearing Claret blue. Never mind, so we offer that. So they want to up that to 10.7. I think for an extra 700k, I think that's possibly doable. I accept that particular bid, and I said, right, you've got a deal there, Mauricio Pochettino. We shake hands, we've done the bizzo, and we now have to go and do business with of course the player's agent, of course. I don't think it's Morgan Freeman this time, but let's have a look how the negotiations will go. There's me, and no black tie. We've got the stripy one on now, and great to have you here. Trips back at Goforth, where I think his spiritual home is. Player role, and I know exactly what we're going to at least give him. We wanted to give him. Now he's obviously got a. I was going to give him important. I think he's important because we had Martin on the books, and we wanted to originally use him in some of the cup games, but our agent here was not going to work. He said he's got to be untouchable, so we're thinking, well, he is in a way, and so Trips. I just said, right, okay, that's fair enough. We'll give him that opportunity. So we do that, and so we want Trippier to rejoin us because we think he's a very valuable commodity. He's a good right back and he can put good crosses in. He wants a 4-year deal, says his agent. So we agree on the 4-year deal, the 4-year contract. I think that's I think that's fair enough, I have to say. So we accept that part of the deal. So that works for all of us. So we're prepared to offer Trips a 4-year contract. Well, yeah, that's fair enough, isn't it? So we offer him a 4-year contract. Just one problem though. Well, not one problem. He wants 65 grand a week, which is less than what he's earning at Spurs. He's currently earning 67 grand at Spurs. So we accept that because that's actually quite cheaper than before. So I'm quite happy and Trippier rejoins us along with Danny Ings and joins Aaron Lennon and Ryan Shawcross as our 4th summer signing. So we've got 4 class players, experienced Premier League campaigners for our Burnley side, which is really, really good, and some very good deals done there. Not for too bad of money. Unfortunately though, with Sam Vokes' deal, West Brom could not agree contracts with him, and they couldn't reach terms. So, and also probably the fact that he was a former Wolves player once upon a time would not have gone down too well. So obviously the plug was pulled on that one by Mr. Pulis. We reject an offer from Derby for James Tarkowski. So that really as far as that was concerned. Anyway, that brings us to the end of our first episode. I hope very much you enjoyed the whole negotiation thing for FIFA 17. We will, in the second episode, we'll get straight into the action where we go away to Chelsea, and what a game that promises to be at Stamford Bridge. Will our 4 players that we brought in make debuts? Well, you'll have to wait and see in the next episode, which will be out tomorrow, to find out. Until then, from me, JB, I hope very much you've enjoyed the opening episode of this Burnley Career Mode, and I'll see you again for another one very soon.